In the last 30 years of ministry or so, I've found there are three primary questions about Jesus. Who was Jesus? Did he really have to die? And was he who he says he was? And of course, we know the answer to that. But I also found that in the context of our own nation here in America and other parts of the world, many Christians don't even understand the foundations of their faith. And Paul, the apostle, in 1 Corinthians 3 says, you can't build if you don't build on the foundation of Jesus. If we don't understand the revelation of the work of the cross and the power of the resurrection, how then can we build anything that's sustainable or lasting or widespread? That's why back in the early 1990s, I did a Bible study called Work of the Cross, Power of the Resurrection. Later, I expanded it. It became known as the book Born to Die That We May Live, which is really about the work of the cross and the power of the resurrection, taken from the book of Leviticus on the 5 Levitical sacrifices, taking which was complicated or hidden in the old and revealed in the new and made simple through the power of what Jesus did for us. And it comes along with a study guide as well as an outreach booklet called Who Was Jesus? To answer those questions. Who was Jesus? Was he really who he says he was? And did he have to die? It was amazing to me how many people from a 19 years of methadone heroin addiction and a tow truck driver coming to Christ to a medical doctor who got stuck reading through the Old Testament, got stuck on the book of Leviticus and was talking to a pastor. And the pastor said, I've got some resources for you. And it just opened up his eyes that he started a Bible study with professionals, surgeons and doctors and attorneys and others that are going through the book, and they call it their Born to Live Bible study that came out of this book, Born to Die That We May Live. In fact, in the book, I have actually a medical description used by permission by the late Dr. C. Truman Davis, which talks about what Jesus would have had to go through from a medical standpoint in the crucifixion. It's filled with many great stories and practical resource tools to help you as a pastor or a Sunday school teacher to help create and open up a whole new picture of the power of what Jesus did for us, that Jesus really is the Son of God. He really did have to come to die that we may live, and he really is who he says he is. So I pray that it's a great resource for you. It's based on the 5 Levitical sacrifices made simple and pointing to the perfect sacrifice, the Lamb of God that was slain before the foundations of the world, as a resource to you to help your people go through to find out what is the foundation of their faith. How can we build if we don't build on the right foundation? The sad truth is in America, in other parts of the world, in the Christian world, many people don't understand the basics of their faith. That's why this was created as a back to basic and a foundation to our faith, which is the work of the cross and the power of the resurrection, as a resource to you to help your people see the importance of the high cost of love of what Jesus did for us on the cross of Calvary.